Broadcasting to you from the heart of northern Minnesota, this is the best music-oriented podcast and web series on all of YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Roger Radio Show. I am Aegis Levity, the main boss of the worst group on all of YouTube, the Intermission group.
I am Roger Radio, the dumbest motherfucker on YouTube.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'll say this right now. It is another beautiful day, and my boy Aegis here is about to have an orgasm because of today's legit album review. Cheers to you, fucker.
Cheers. Smells like lotion.
It ain't my fault. Otherwise, were you masturbating again?
No.
Bullshit! Alright, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into today's podcast, the question of the podcast is, what is the weirdest music you've ever listened to? And my answer is, Joe's Garage by Frank Zappa.
Oh, I gotta go with Not Available by the Residents.
You've showed me them, haven't you?
I don't think I've showed you any music by the Residents. I really do not think you'd like it.
Oh, okay, fair enough. But the only reason I said Joe's Garage is because you and we were listening to Joe's Garage while we were playing whatever the fuck a Jackbox game it was, where we were just putting in some very retarded ass shit, you know, and I think it fitted appropriate.
Epstein files, I mean. The Epstein files.
Yeah, Epstein files, and then somehow the worst war name, call or slogan ever, and we both said, make America great again.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was quite a trip right there, so. But I thought, with Joe's Garage, it fit the theme of it, especially when you hear, I think it was Catholic Slut,
there was Catholic Girls, and then there was Crew Slut.
Oh, Crew Slut and Catholic Girls, never mind. And then there was also, Why Does It Hurt When I Pee? Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, Aegis here. He's about to have an orgasm because today's album review is going to be none other than the Talking Heads' 1980 album, Remain in Light. And Aegis, before you say anything, I just got one question that I need to ask you.
What?
What the fuck did you make me listen to?
A really fucking good album, that's what. Honestly, that's, in my opinion, this is Talking Heads' best album of all time.
I even said this, dude. The only reason that I've even know of the fucking album is because of their biggest hit from it, which we will get to. But everything else, why did it sound like if I had dementia in my brain or if my brain was melting?
I know. I just love the music on this album a lot. They use a lot of really funky polyrhythms they're just pretty fucking neat.
Not to mention, it was produced by your main guy Brian Eno. So when I look when I look back on this album, and I already know of the type of music Brian Eno plays on his own discography. This doesn't feel like a Talking Heads album. It feels more like a Brian Eno album, and our main guy, David Byrne, was the singer in it.
Yep, and he also did the lyrics, pretty sure.
Who, David Byrne, or was it Brian Eno that did the lyrics?
David Byrne, I think, did the lyrics.
Oh, or the songwriting of it, so. Man, I'm looking at my webcam, dude. I really need a fucking shave, dude. I look hideous.
I do too. I got a bunch of fucking scruff right here.
Yeah, dude, and I thought you were trying to keep the mustache and beard just like your boy Frank Zappa. I mean, just look at me, dude. I look fucking hideous. I really look like I've been through the ringer. Although I have
That's
been,
how
but
you always look, Roger.
ain't my fault. Okay, so this was an album that we've been wanting to look at for a while because last week, as you know, was Oasis' 30-year anniversary of What's the Story Morning Glory. But in addition to that, this month is the 45th anniversary of Remain in Light. And we obviously thought we'd do an album review of this. Then this will be like our last one for a while because there's like some other podcast ideas that I have that I do want to do. So we're going to really make it count while we can, people. Make it count.
Hell yeah.
All right, so the album was released on October 8th, 1980. It was recorded from July to August of 1980. It was recorded at Compass Point, Nassau, Bahamas Sigma Sound, all based in New York City. The genres for this album was new wave, art rock, funk rock, post-punk, dance rock, afro-funk, world beat, and psychedelic funk. It was released by Sire Records, and it was produced, like I said, by Aegis's boy, Brian Eno. So,
and this is high up on the fucking Rolling Stones list of like top albums of all time, correct?
Yeah, and it is actually at number 39. So it's actually
nice.
one spot above David Bowie's Ziggy Stardust album.
Really?
Yeah. Here's what.
No, that's it.
Huh?
Oh, go ahead.
No,
I was just gonna say, the thing I really like about the music on this album is it all just sounds so unique. There's nothing out there that sounds like it.
Yeah, I mean, I was listening to it, dude, and I still cannot for the life of me figure out what I listen to. It sounds unique, like you said, but it could be worse, dude. It could have been Dire Straits Brothers in Arms. But like I said, I will give you credit for that. It is really good. And this was only their fourth album. Okay.
And if you ask me, it is their best album.
Yeah.
If only we could have had Maria. Maria was not feeling good today. Otherwise, she would have joined us.
Yeah. And, you know, dude, I have a strict schedule about how I want to do this, you know, so.
Yep.
Okay. Oh shit, I can't remember. There was one thing I was gonna say, but now I forgot. Like aside from the article here. Oh right, I remember now. Here's the thing, like you said, their music is unique, but they only had like one song from there that really got radio play, and that was Once in a Lifetime, which we will get into very soon. Okay, so it is listed number 39 on Rolling Stone's greatest albums of all time, and here's what the article says. David Byrne said Remain in Light was done in bits and pieces, one instrument at a time. The result was a new wave masterpiece powered by Byrne's revelation, as he put it, on the gray curve that the world moves on a woman's hips. It combined thrust of a P-Funk dance party, the ancient to the future rhythm hypnosis of Nigerian funk master Fela Kuti, and the studied adventurousness of the album's producer and heads co-conspirator Brian Eno. Remain in Light marked Talking Heads' transformation from avatars of the punk avant-garde to polyrhythmic magicians with a hit single appeal. Just try not dancing to Once in a Lifetime. Why would I even dance to it? It doesn't sound like a song I would dance to, honestly.
With the polyrhythms, it can be a bit challenging to dance to a lot of it.
I don't know. I mean, I'm just wondering, like, how the hell would that work?
No, so this is one of my favorite albums of all time in general, and it's one of the few albums where I will just sit down and listen to the whole thing without any skips.
Yeah,
like every song on this album.
Yeah, as you explained on our podcast episode where we talked about our favorite albums of all time thing, and this
Yep.
was among them. All right. So here is what the background says about this, the origins of how this album came to be.
Yeah.
In January of 1980, the members of Talking Heads returned to New York City after touring in support of their 1979 album Fear of Music, and took time off to pursue personal interests. Singer David Byrne worked with Brian Eno, the record's producer, on the album My Life in the Bush of Ghosts,
which another good one.
Yep, which was the first collaboration album for Eno and Byrne. Keyboardist Jerry Harrison produced an album for soul singer Nona Hendryx, Hendryx, at Sigma Sound Studios' secondary facility in NYC. Talking Heads would later record at Sigma and employ Hendryx as a backing vocalist on Harrison's advice. Drummer Chris Franz and bassist Tina Weymouth, who is the married couple in the group, discussed leaving Talking Heads after Weymouth suggested that Byrne was too controlling. Franz did not want to leave, and the two decided to take a long vacation in the Caribbean to ponder the state of the band and their marriage. So I think at this time, their marriage, they were kind of having a bit of issues in their marriage at the time. They became involved in Haitian Vodou, Vodou, religious ceremonies, practiced native percussion instruments, and socialized with the reggae rhythm section of Sly and Robbie. France and Weymouth ended their holiday by purchasing an apartment above Compass Point Studios in Nassau, Bahamas, where Talking Heads and Eno had recorded more songs about buildings and food in 1978. This was their second album. Byrne joined the duo and Harrison there in early 1980. The band members realized that songwriting had thus been largely Byrne's responsibility, and that they had become tired of the notion of being a singer and a backing band. The ideal they aimed for, according to Byrne, was sacrificing our egos for mutual cooperation. How many bands do you think ever do that?
Next to none.
Exactly. Byrne also wanted to escape the psychological paranoia and personal torment that he had been feeling and writing about in New York. Instead of writing music to Byrne's lyrics, the group performed extended instrumental jams using the Fear of Music track I Zimbra as a foundation. Eno arrived in the Bahamas 3 weeks after Byrne. While reluctant to work with the band again after collaborating on their previous 2 albums, he changed his mind after hearing the instrumental demo tapes. The band and Eno experimented with the communal African way of making music, in which individual parts mesh as polyrhythms. Nigerian musician Fela Kuti's 1973 album, Aphrodisiac, became the band's and Eno's template for the album. According to Weymouth, the emergence of hip-hop made the band realize that the musical landscape was changing. Before the studio sessions began, the band's friend David Gans told them that the things one doesn't intend are the seeds for a more interesting future, encouraging them to experiment, improvise, and make use of mistakes. Now, this here is almost reminds me of Pink Floyd, because Pink Floyd between all their very long recording sessions would make stuff that felt useless and would shelve them and store them away for any possible future use. Okay. That was what they did with Brain Damage for Dark Side of the Moon. They actually recorded the instrumental stuff or the demo for Brain Damage during the recording for their album Metal and shelved it, and then revisited it for Dark Side. All right, there is a whole lot of info here, but they started their recording sessions at Compass Point Studios in July of 1980. Recorded a whole lot of it, and they basically their ambition was to blend rock and roll and African genres rather than simply imitate African music. So they wanted to like do some kind of experimentation with combining them. And they ended up bringing in some other people like to help with it. Let me see here. The packaging and title part. Weymouth in France conceived the cover art with the help of Massachusetts Institute of Technology researcher Walter Bender and his ArcMac team, the precursor to the MIT Media Lab. Basically, their first draft that they made, they created a collage of red warplanes flying in formation over the Himalayas. The planes are an artistic depiction of Grumman Avenger planes in honor of Weymouth's father, Ralph Weymouth, who was a U.S. Navy admiral. The idea for the back cover included simple portraits of the band members. Weymouth attended MIT regularly during the summer of 1980 and worked with Bender's colleague, Scott Fisher, on the computer renditions of the ideas. The process was tortuous because computer power was limited in the early 80s, and the mainframe alone took up several rooms. Weymouth and Fisher shared a passion for masks and used the concept to experiment with the portraits. The faces were blotted out with blocks of red, as we see in the iconic album cover, as Eno wanted to be featured on the cover art as well. Weymouth considered superimposing Eno's face on top of all four portraits to insinuate his egotism, but decided against it. In the end, the critical reception was extremely positive, 4 to 5-star rankings. All right, so Remain in Light was named the best album of 1980 by Sounds, ahead of The Skids' The Absolute Game, and by Melody Maker. In 1989, Rolling Stone named Remain in Light the 4th best album of the 1980s, so that's good. Oh, I just kicked my table. Fuck me. It was included in 1993. It was included at number 11 in NME's list of 50 greatest albums of the 80s, and at number 68 on the publication's greatest albums of all time list. In 1997, The Guardian collated worldwide data from renowned critics, artists, and radio DJs, which placed the record at number 43 on the list of 100 albums overall. In 1999, it was included by Vibe as one of its 100 essential albums of the 20th century. In 2000, it was voted number 227 in Colin Larkins's all-time top 1,000 albums. In 2002, Pitchfork featured Remain in Light at number 2, behind only Sonic Youth's Daydream Nation in its 100 albums of the 1980s. In 2003, VH1 named the record at number 88 during its 100 Greatest Albums countdown, while Slant Magazine included it in its unnumbered shortlist of 50 essential pop albums. Pop?
That album's not pop.
Yeah, it's not. All right, let's see here. In 2006, Q Magazine placed it at number 27 in its 40 best albums of the 1980s list. And then Rolling Stone included it, like I said, at number 39 on its greatest albums of all time. Here's an interesting note right here for you, man. Radiohead cited Remain in Light as the major influence for their album Kid A.
Really?
Yep. According to Radiohead guitarist Johnny Greenwood, He had assumed it was composed of loops, but learned from Harrison that Talking Heads had instead recorded themselves playing the parts repetitively. Greenwood said, and that's why it's not exhausting to listen to, because you're not hearing the same piece of music over and over again. You're hearing it slightly different every time. There's a lesson there. Oh, and here we go. In 2022, Jerry Harrison and your other boy, Adrian Belew, who actually played electric guitar and Roland guitar synthesizer on songs 2, 3, 7, and 8, united for 3 concert dates for the album's 40th anniversary, in which they played all of the album and several more Talking Heads songs. In 2023, they expanded the project to a full North American tour and included material from Belew's period in the Talking Heads' 1980s incarnation of King Crimson.
Nice.
Right? Okay, so I think that's... Oh, wait, and also here we go for the certifications right here. Here, they went gold in Canada for 50,000 sales. United Kingdom, they went gold for 100,000. And in the US, they went gold for 500,000. The year-end chart performance for Remain in Light was at number 87 on the US Billboard 200. And the UK albums chart, they were at 21. And for the Billboard 200 again, it was at 19.
Nice.
And you expect me to believe that this is one of the best albums?
Yes.
Well, if that is the case, man, then let's say we get into the songs.
Yeah, we could do that.
All right, so the first song to start it all off was Born Under Punches. The Heat Goes On. The track was a prominent bass line and sets the funk tone of the album. It incorporates elements of African music, continuing an approach used in an earlier Talking Heads song, I Zimbra. The solo was performed by David Byrne using a Lexicon primetime delay unit and was recorded piece by piece, with each part speed manipulated upon playback. However, during live performances, the solo was played by Adrian Belew, who performed with the band on the album and its tour. So, what to say about this song is simply this. It sounds too boring of an opening, in my opinion. I
kind of like it.
I honestly, dude, was listening to the lyrics and I could not for the life of me fucking understand what he was saying. I literally had to read back on the lyrics to even know what the hell he said.
Yeah, so it goes up. Take a look at these hands. Take a look at these hands. The hand speaks, the hand of a government man. Well, I'm a tumbler, born under punches. I'm so thin.
It says right here that AllMusic critic Bill Janovitz describes the song's protagonist as being another alienated, lost soul seeing in a world filtered through his delusions and paranoia, similar to the protagonists in other Talking Heads songs. Janovitz points to the following lyrics to support his assessment, which you just said right there. There was something that I wanted to actually bring up, as a matter of fact. They pretty much ended up. Yeah, the songs are with striking free associative feel, and the testimony of Watergate scandal conspirator John Dean was one of the several inspirations for the lyrics on Remain in Light.
Mm-hmm.
So they actually took a real life event that happened and used it for motivation. All right, so the hand of government man, which I do believe they are basically making a reference to John Dean right there, without a doubt.
Yeah.
and Born Under Punches, I feel that the people who were under the Richard Nixon presidency were pretty much like born under punches, and they were
Yeah.
his punching bags.
Yeah, the hands represent government oppression. The speaker has spent his whole life being browbeaten and knocked down by people in power. That's why he's a tumbler in comparison to the might of the government. He is thin and weedy with little chance of standing up to his authoritarian masters.
When I'm looking at these lyrics right here, doesn't it almost remind you of a Pink Floyd song, Pigs, Three Different Ones?
I'm not familiar with that exact song, with that particular song.
Okay. No, like I said, dude, I want to do an album review of Animals in the future, but I want to try and wait till the 50-year anniversary for it. So, but
Okay.
I would recommend listening. It's actually a pretty good song right there. All I want is to breathe. I'm too thin. Won't you breathe with me? Find a little space so we move in between it, and keep one step ahead of yourself.
The narrator says he only wants to breathe, meaning that he literally only wants things that are necessary for him to live, nothing more. If
Yeah,
only the hand could hold a little less tight. So
yeah.
he's being governmentally oppressed, and all he wants is just to be able to breathe.
Aren't we all?
Yep.
Don't you miss it? Don't you miss it? Some of you people just about missed it. Last time to make plans, and I'm a tumbler, I'm a government man. Some of you people just about missed it. Wouldn't it be almost like you just missed the storm?
Yeah.
Like what we've seen in 2020, for example? Last time to make plans. Like one
It
last.
says here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, says here it could be a reference to the U.S. President Richard Nixon before his resignation.
Yeah, registration.
I meant resignation.
Instead of a resignation, it was a registration.
Hmm.
Let's see here. Never seen anything like that before. Falling bodies tumble across the floor. Well, I'm a tumbler. When you get to where you want to be, thank you, thank you. When you get to wherever you want to be, well, don't ever even mention it. Never seen anything like that before. Oh, are you sure about that, Richard Nixon?
Hmm. All right.
I
And it
almost
goes on
feel
a. Oh, go
for
ahead. Go
like
ahead.
I'm just looking at this. Falling bodies tumble across the floor. It almost feels like it's a reference to everyone who was implicated in Watergate. Actually,
Yeah.
not only was the five burglars, but there was Nixon's first vice president Spiro Agnew, and then there was also
Hmm.
the three people that ended up being fired as part of the quote unquote Saturday Night Massacre. And then there was also John Mitchell, who was the attorney general, but then resigned to chair the re-election campaign for the president. I think it was the campaign to re-elect the president or something like that. I can't remember, but the abbreviation for this so-called group was called CREEP. Let's see here.
All right. Whoa, take a look at these hands. They're passing in between us. Take a look at these hands. Take a look at these hands. You don't have to mention it. No, thanks. I'm a government man.
Dude, every time you just say that, I'm just going to be like this. Here's my hands. Take a look at these hands.
Hmm. And the heat goes on, and the heat goes on, and the heat goes on, and the
Yep,
heat
you don't
goes
have to say
on.
anymore. Or I see it repeating, so you don't have to say it repeat it. You can only say it once. Yeah, the heat pretty much still goes on. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not a drowning man, and I'm not a burning building. I'm a tumbler. Drowning cannot hurt a man. Fire cannot hurt a man. Not the government man.
I know. I really like that song. I like every song in this album a lot. I already said, but
Yeah, but like I said, I was like, what the fuck kind of an opening is this? Like, I could not even understand what the hell Byrne was saying. It almost sounded like he was like on fucking something. Okay, and then it repeats some of the lyrics. Here's what I ended up finding right here for like the stuff, because I'm looking at the wiki for the song right now. Author Ian Gittins also characterizes the song's persona as being unstable, describing the song as being about a harassed and apparently unstable government man, which I think would also refer to Nixon too, because from what I heard, Nixon was really paranoid because he had enemies
yep.
on every single corner around. Janovitz claims that the thick menage of polyrhythmic percussion, staccato guitars, popping bass, and Devo-like electronic blips, that's the band Devo by the way, and bleeps make this protagonist even more threatening than the one in an earlier Talking Heads song, Psycho Killer. Gittins likewise concurs that the contrast with warmth and gravitas of the humane backing deepens the impression of the song's eye persona as being unstable. Janovitz notes Byrne's vocal performance in speaking and shouting his bitter lines and threats through the complex music. He particularly praises Brian Eno's production, stating that the way Eno layered the multiple guitar, bass guitar, and drum parts gave the song an original, sharply conceived, and imposing textured sound. Born Under Punches was named as one of the best songs released between 1980 and 82 in the 2008 book The Pitchfork 500, Our Guide to the Greatest Songs from Punk to the Present.
All right. And then the next song is Cross-Eyed and Painless.
I did like how it sounded.
I also really like this song. It's one of my favorite songs in this album.
Yeah. I think I would probably set it at number 2, honestly, in my opinion. It did sound really good. It was like the music itself, and I could actually hear David Byrne a lot more better for vocals this time around.
Yeah, it is either like number 2 or number 3 for me.
Yeah. Okay, so what it says here, song style. The song uses instruments and techniques such as cowbell loops, congas, bells, staccato guitar rhythms, and electronic blips. The rhythm of the song, as well as the use of the congas, add an African feel to the song, which is also apparent in their song I Zimbra. Lyrically, the lyrics discuss a paranoid and alienated man who feels he is stressed by his urban surroundings. These lyrics are of common theme for Talking Heads and categorize lead singer David Byrne's writing style. The rhythmical rant in Cross-Eyed and Painless, facts are simple and facts are straight. Facts are lazy and facts are late.
Facts all come with points of view. Facts don't do what I want them to.
All right. It is influenced by old school rap, specifically Curtis Blow's The Breaks given to Byrne by Franz. The singer is filled with doubt and is not even sure he can believe facts. By the end of the song, he expresses his resentment of facts. Facts don't do what I want them to do. Facts just twist the truth around. Which is fucking true! It's fucking true this time of day because of the fucking retard we have in the White House.
The fucking taco in the White House.
Yep. And then, of course, who does he have running the Department of Health? A guy who sounded like he had how many throat transplants? Who told us to not take Tylenol. And Aegis and I found that out the hard way.
Yep, they were right. Tylenol does cause autism.
Right. It does cause autism, people. All right. So you want to start with the lyrics here? I need to rest
Yeah.
my throat.
Lost my shape, trying to act casual. Can't stop, I might end up in the hospital. Changing my shape, I feel like an accident. They're back to explain their experience.
Trying to act casual, dude. I always fucking fail at that. I always fail at that.
Hmm.
Lost my shape. What do you think that means? Just losing your identity or just how
Yes,
you
yes.
physically look?
It's about identity, I think.
Oh, okay.
And then trying to act casual, trying to act normal.
Which I cannot do. I even, like I said, dude, I can't do that. It's impossible. I feel like an accident. Don't we all?
Yep.
They're back to explain their experience. Wouldn't that be like if we ended up doing something stupid and we came back and we had to explain what happened? Believe me, there were many times that I had to do it. Most of them I don't even get into, so. God fucking damn it, Grant, shut up. Shut up, G Money!
Isn't it weird? Looks too obscure to me. Wasting away, that was their policy.
Which is what they're doing right now with the shutdown, people.
Yeah, probably it says here, probably a self-aware expression of the position many people probably took on their music. They were the weird experimental new wave band that had the ear to make something catchy enough for radio.
Yeah,
Also could be a reference to the album cover from the perspective of someone who knows nothing about the band.
yeah. I hear that. All right, so it continues on. I'm ready to leave. I push the fact in front of me. Facts lost. Yeah, facts are never what they seem to be. Nothing there. No information left of any kind. Li lifting my head, looking for the danger signs. um, I push the fact in front of me. Um, I honestly cannot for the life of me figure out what these even mean right now. These lyrics in particular.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm ready to leave. I push the facts in front of me. Facts lost. Facts are never what they seem to be.
I think
All
for
right.
that part,
Anyway,
yeah, I was gonna say facts are never what they seem to be. Isn't that it's like Fox News fucking lying to us and all that shit?
yeah, I get that.
There was a line. There was a formula. Sharp as a knife. Facts cut a hole in us. There was a line. There was a formula. Sharp as a knife. Facts cut a hole in us. Um,
Says here, it seems to me that these lines are about rhythm and the harsh reality of awareness. Byrne talks about the line in the formula, aka the stability of society. He seems regretful and sorrowful while he references the old stability of things. The facts cut a hole in us. Maybe the idea that facts have a habit of bearing the naked, harsh truth.
seems about right, right?
Yeah. And then it goes on and it says, I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting.
And it repeats it a few more times.
Yep. The feeling returns whenever we close our eyes, lifting my head, looking around inside.
Um, the feeling returns 4 years later, unfortunately. Whenever we close our eyes, lifting my head, look around inside. Whenever we close our eyes, something always fucking happens every time. We like turn around and like for 1 second, then we turn back and something always fucking happens. You
Yep.
know?
The island of doubt. It's like the taste of medicine. Working by hindsight, got the message from the oxygen. Remember making a list, find the cost of opportunity, doing it right. Facts are useful in emergencies.
RFK Jr. right there. I think that almost looks like it's fucking him. The island of doubt, because he keeps doubting everything that's meant to save us. It's like the taste of medicine, working by hindsight. I'd still up with that. Got the message from the oxygen. I don't think he has any more oxygen left because you know how he sounds. Find the
That
cost.
line there up. The working by hindsight got the message from the oxygen. That sounds like a reference to global warming to me. Like it says working by hindsight got the message from the oxygen.
They
Fucking
even
ozone layer
keeps.
and shit, and we're only realizing about the fucking global warming because we caused it.
Yeah.
If we hadn't caused global warming, we're looking in hindsight.
Look,
And
dude,
that's how I
if
see
you
it.
ever
That's how I see it.
if you ever watch, now that you bring that up, if you ever watch the episode of South Park where they talk about global warming or made that one of the jokes, it's supposed to come 2 days after, 2 days before the day after tomorrow or whatever kind of thing. And the guy's like, they tried to warn us, but we didn't listen. We didn't listen.
Hmm.
The feel, yeah, it repeats that again, and it repeats. Oh wait, I don't think they've repeated
No,
this part right here. Facts are
they haven't.
simple and facts are straight. Facts are lazy and facts are late. Facts all come with points of view. Facts don't do what I want them to. Facts just twist the truth around. Facts are living turned inside out. Facts are getting the best of them. Facts are nothing on the face of things. Fuck me! So, but the main question is, what facts are actually facts? Because every side has their own facts. So how do we know that any of them are
Yep, that's
telling the
kind of what it's
truth?
saying. Like, yeah, facts are hard. They hit, you know, you can't change the facts. The facts are always the facts. You can't change them and it may hurt, but that's the fucking truth right there.
Yeah, exactly. Without a fucking doubt. All
And
right.
facts can,
Uh,
oh,
oh, you
go
go
ahead.
ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, it says facts are getting the best of them. Facts are nothing in the face of things. So facts are getting the best of them. It's like they're lying and you're exposing them to the truth with facts.
Dude, look at what Fox News has been doing. They've been poisoning everyone's minds.
Yep.
And remember, when I was at the radio station, we were at the radio station I volunteered at was an NPR affiliated station, and NPR, for a lot of people, have been accused of being very, very politically biased. And that is
All
the
right.
and that has been the subject that NPR has been dealing with for many, many years. And that's why they ended up losing their federal funding because they were like, enough's enough. Which I don't think is true, so.
All right. Before you start the next song, I gotta go use the bathroom. I'll be right back.
And go tell them to shut the fuck up or at least be quieter. Fuck. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are enjoying what you're watching, subscribe to the Roger Radio Show. And while you're at it, be sure to subscribe to my second channel, El Gallo Productions, and subscribe to my collaboration channel, as I like to call it, the Intermission Group. The links to those channels will be in the description below. And I hope you're enjoying this music-related shit that we're doing right here. I certainly have been, so... But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any suggestions for any music albums that we should review that we haven't done, feel free to comment it in the comment section below. We always take suggestions.
But no one gives us any.
Yep, because they ain't on our level. They're not on our level. All right, so I say... the next song that we got is The Great Curve, and I think that it's now feeling like I'm going back to track one because that was how I felt about it. I was like, it's too fucking boring again. And
not gonna lie, The Great Curve is actually probably my favorite song on the album.
When it came to like the 6.5 minutes that it took, dude, I was just here like so fucking bored like this, dude. I was like, when is this gonna fucking end? Yep, Wikipedia does not have a link to this song, so we're just gonna go off our interpretations on this bullshit right here. Alright, you go right ahead, dude.
Alright, it says here on Genius, the song is a noisy yet hypnotic piece with an ultra-fast driving riff, along with Afrobeat-inspired bongos and harmonizing horns. The chorus has multiple singers creating a complex rhythm. This is probably the most cryptic song in Remain in Light. It seems to speak about how the confusing and curious world is defined by a woman or a goddess figure, and we shall realize this with her light. This is probably a metaphor with multiple interpretations, as said by David Byrne on the Rolling Stone interview.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Great Curve might define the hips of this goddess. The hook saying that the night must fall now might be saying that the earth has to rotate and revolve around the sun by the goddess moving her hips so that people on the other side might see this light. The lines about moving remote control might also be a euphemism for the corrupt government spoken about in the intro track.
I don't know about you, but I'd like to grip her hips. I mean, wouldn't you too?
Well, yeah.
I just love how you just said it so fucking casually, dude. Okay, so the lyrics go as follows. Sometimes the world has a load of questions. Seems like the world knows nothing at all. The world is near, but it's out of reach. Some people touch it, but they can't hold on. The world absolutely has no fucking answer to why it does what it does. It doesn't say, it doesn't tell you why it let Hurricane Katrina wreak havoc. It didn't tell us why it destroyed Joplin, Missouri. It didn't explain why it didn't destroy Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago.
If only.
Yeah, right. It doesn't tell us why our roads here in Minnesota have to be such a fucking bitch during the winter months. It's just like, I don't have a clue. I don't have a clue. I'm just sitting here minding my own business.
All right. She is moving to describe the world. Night must fall now, darker, darker. She has got to move the world, got to move the world, got to move the world. She has messages for everyone. It repeats those. She is moving by remote control. Hands that guide her are invisible.
My fucking sake! She must, Night must fall. She has got to move the world. Well, she has to, otherwise, how could it be nighttime? Otherwise, it's like we're sleeping at daytime. But then, of course, the fact that Aegis and I work overnights, it does feel like it's. She's fucking us with that, so. Has messages for everyone. No shit, the world has messages for everyone. You know?
Yeah. She is moving by remote control. Uh,
Isn't it like fucking Click? Just imagine if that lyric alone fucking predicted Click.
Hands that guide her are invisible.
I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know, dude.
All right. The world has a way of looking at people. Sometimes we feel that the world is wrong. She loves the world and all the people in it. She shakes them up when she starts to walk.
Moving with her fine ass hips that I just want to grip. What?
As people of the world, we, especially those who are female, understand that people look at things differently, and sometimes these perceptions and views are causes for conflict. She loves the world regardless of the meanings they impose, and through her own power and love, she shakes up the status quo and creates new meanings.
So she still loves the world despite the fact that we nearly destroyed the Middle East. She still loves the world despite the fact that Russia nearly has eradicated Ukraine so far. She loves the world despite the fact that Israel and Hamas are still going at it. Okay, that's fine. Fair enough. Fair enough.
As is Christ, for he loves everyone, but you just have to accept him, you know?
Right.
If you believe what I believe, anyway.
Ugh.
Yeah. And it goes, she is only partly human being. So it's like she's like half God, half human, like a Messiah or something. She defines the possibilities. Being a goddess figure, she sets the guidelines and everything. Holding on for an eternity, exactly that. She is, sorry, my roommate being loud. Holding on for an eternity. She's holding on for all eternity because she's there for all eternity. Gone, ending without finishing. There's no ending.
Yeah.
That's my interpretation anyway. All right. The world moves on a woman's hips. The world moves and it swivels and bops. The world moves on a woman's hips. The world moves and it bounces and hops.
I'm actually just gonna leave that. I'm not even gonna comment on that right now. I'm not even gonna comment. Not gonna do it.
Not you and your dirty ass fucking mind.
I'm not gonna do it. I can't.
All right. And then a world of light. She's going to open our eyes up. Excuse me.
We just gotta wake up and realize what the hell's going on around us. Otherwise, it'll all be too late.
Yep. Yeah, it just kind of repeats a lot of the lyrics for the rest of the song.
Yeah. I'm already looking at it. It looks like, it's repeating the rest of it.
Yeah. Then we go on to your favorite song in the album.
Yep.
Once in a Lifetime.
Yep. Yeah, we're gonna review this song quick, and then we're gonna take a break, and I gotta go up there and whoop G Money's ass. So, okay, so obviously, like he said, we are now down to the only song that actually was fucking legible to listen to once in a lifetime, and the only song that gets fucking radio play. So, let me see here. Eno and Talking Heads developed once in a lifetime through extensive jams inspired by Afrobeat musicians such as Fela Kuti. David Byrne's vocals were inspired by preachers delivering sermons with lyrics about existential crisis and the unconsciousness. In the music video, oh, there was a music video. God damn it, I didn't even watch it or even know about this.
I didn't know there was a music video for it either.
Let me take a look quick. Let me look. I'm just gonna look it up on my phone quick. Yeah, apparently there was. I'm just gonna quickly. Right now, I'm actually just what is that term that I'm looking through? I'm just like speeding through it right now, and I'm gonna describe what I can. There's like a green and blue wavish like background, and David Byrne's like acting all nuts or whatnot, like he's losing his breath. He's dressed in a tuxedo, obviously, has his glasses, and then there's like some video of like some indigenous people in Africa. They're like, I think, doing like one of them prayer things, like that's a tradition in their culture. Now he's in a white background and he just fell over it. Now there's like clones of him doing like this, you know, do. And it's going back to like the African stuff right here. I think where they're doing like this here. You know, like one of their
very interesting.
Yeah. And now he looks like he's swimming in like some bluish like background. Almost reminds me of Champagne Supernova by Oasis, the music video right there. And it's just pretty much him, the whole in the white background, just for the rest of the video, pretty much. That's pretty much all I can tell you, folks. I guess I didn't know that there was a music video, so.
Yeah, it looks like an interesting music video. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I got the point of it. I got the gist of it.
Yeah. It pretty much says in the music video, Byrne is dancing erratically over footage of religious rituals. So yeah, that's what I said about it. So, okay, so lyrically, Byrne improvised lines as if he was giving a sermon with a call and response chorus like a preacher and congregation. His vocals are half spoken, half sung, with lyrics about living in a beautiful house with a beautiful wife and a large automobile. The Guardian writer Jack Malcolm suggested that Once in a Lifetime can be read as an art pop rumination on the existential ticking time bomb of unchecked consumerism and advancing age. According to AllMusic critic Steve Huey, the lyrics address the drudgery of living life according to social expectations and pursuing commonly accepted trophies, a large automobile, beautiful house, beautiful wife, etc. Although the narrator has these trophies, he questions whether they are real and how he acquired them, a kind of existential crisis. The Australian songwriter David Brighty connected the mentions of water in a gospel-like chorus to Harrison's watery synthesizer arpeggio. Byrne denied that the lyrics addressed the yuppie greed and said that they were about the unconsciousness. We operate half awake or on autopilot and end up whatever in a house and family and job and everything else. And we haven't really... Huh?
I get that.
Yeah,
Like
and
half
we
the day,
haven't.
well, most of the day at work, I'm fucking autopilot. I'm thinking of something else, so I'll just slaving away, you know.
Yeah. And it continues on to say, and we haven't really stopped to ask ourselves, how did I get here? Eno said that Byrne combined the blood and thunder intonation of the preacher with optimistic lyrics. It's saying what a fantastic place we live in. Let's celebrate it. That was a radical thing to do when everyone was so miserable and gray. Now, this song here is ranked number 28 on the Rolling Stones 500 greatest songs of all time. Here's what it says. Talking Heads had a difficult time bringing Once in a Lifetime to life. The song began during jams at Compass Point Studios in the Bahamas as the band worked on the groundbreaking Afro-funk influenced album Remain in Light. Producer and co-writer Brian Eno wanted to ditch the tune altogether until David Byrne started performing his Same as It Ever Was monologue like an evangelical preacher, which somehow sharpened his message about questioning identity and reality. We're largely unconscious, the singer once said. You know, we operate half awake or on an autopilot and end up whatever, with a house and a family and a job and everything else, and we haven't really stopped to ask ourselves, how did I get here? In reference to what I said earlier. So yeah, here it is. In 2000, NPR named it as one of the most important American musical works of the 20th century. In 2016, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame listed it as one of the 500 songs that shaped rock and roll. And Malcolm Jack wrote in The Guardian that the song is a thing of dizzying power, beauty, and mystery. It sounds like nothing else in the history of pop. In 2018, musician Travis Morrison appeared on NPR's All Songs Considered, where he selected Once in a Lifetime as a perfect song and said, the lyrics are astounding. They are meaningless and totally meaningful at the same time. That's as good as rock lyrics get. In 2023, the Australian songwriter David Bridie said that it was the most perfect song of all time. Ryan, it was cool and edgy, and yet it could be played in supermarkets. Which is true because at our job, we probably must have heard it over the PA speakers. And like I said, Rolling Stone listed it at number 28 on their songs of all time. In the same year, American Songwriter named it the third best Talking Heads song, and Record World called it a polyrhythmic journey through his heart of darkness. The vocal intensity and melodic beauty are enthralling. In 1989, Spin Readers voted it as the music video the sixth best of the 1980s. In 2003, BBC critic Chris Jones described the song as hilarious and as compelling as it was in 1981. In 2021, Rolling Stone named it its 81st best music video. Oh no!
What?
Weird fucking Al! He recreated it in the music video for his 1989 song UHF with a similar suit and dance. That is so fucking insulting, man. I fucking hate Weird Al so much. In 1996, and Jesus Christ, not him too. Kermit the Frog performed it on Muppets Tonight while wearing his big suit and mimicking his dances from Stop Making Sense.
See, the Weird Al part doesn't hurt me very much, but the fucking Kermit the Frog, fuck that.
If any of you honestly think that this shit that Weird Al and Kermit did are actually cool, I pray to God every night that you drown more quicker than fucking Natalie did. Shall we read the lyrics?
Yeah. You may find yourself living in a shotgun shack. You may find yourself in another part of the world. And you may find yourself behind the wheel of a large automobile. And you may find yourself in a beautiful house with a beautiful wife. And you may ask yourself, well, how did I get here?
You may find yourself living in a shotgun shack after seeing Weird Al and Kermit do what they fucking did. I wished I was! Find yourself in another part of the world? Well, it could happen because there's many people, you know, they may move to other parts of the world, whether it be in another part of the US, in Canada, somewhere in the world. I have like a couple friends of mine from my hometown who are in the Czech Republic right now.
Really?
Who are living in the Czech right now. Large automobile? Yeah, right. Like that's ever gonna happen to me. In a beautiful house with a beautiful wife? Yeah, right. Like I said, yeah, right. Like that's ever gonna happen. Evan.
I mean, I'm sure I'll get there at some point, but you don't really seem to want that in life at all, don't do you? You just want to fuck your floozies.
Anyway, to continue on. Letting the days go by, let the water hold me down. Letting the days go by, water flowing underground. Into the blue again after the money's gone. Once in a lifetime, water flowing underground. Doesn't that almost sound, let the water hold me down? Doesn't that almost sound like you're being baptized? In reference to the themes that are going on with this song here?
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. And it says here, it's water, symbolic of life, is the legend of the American dream, and David's image of the America, how we saw living in New York City during the early 80s. And then into the blue again after the money's gone is the dream fading away once all has been spent, both emotionally and physically.
Yep. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I know about that all too fucking well when my money's gone for like 2 weeks. Or whenever, depending on if I have any left over after my all-night bingers.
And you may ask yourself, how do I work this? And you may ask yourself, wait, am I? Yeah, I'm on the right spot.
Yeah, you're right there.
And you may ask yourself, where is that large automobile? And you may tell yourself, this is not my beautiful house. And you may tell yourself, this is not my beautiful wife. So, like, the first verse of the song is saying, like, you could get all this. And then this verse is saying, or maybe you don't.
This is not my beautiful wife. Do you have any idea how many fucking times that has happened to me in my goddamn life? I was like, this ain't my beautiful wife. This is someone else's beautiful wife.
Better not be mine. You're getting your dick chopped off, dude.
What, more quicker than Rail from The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway? Are you gonna put it in a little tube for me that I'll put around my neck and then a raven just come and takes it and I never see my dick again?
Yeah, something like that.
You don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about, so shut the fuck up. Unless if you did listen to Lamb Lies Down on Broadway like I recommended, then you would understand the reference that I made right there. So,
yeah.
Where's that large automobile? It's not out there because chances are I ain't ever getting one because I'm 31 years old and I still don't fucking drive.
I don't know. When I'm rich and famous, I'm never going to get a big fucking automobile. I'm just going to get like a humble little car, you know?
Or at least just get like not like one of them really rich ass limos per se, but just like, one of them tiny ones that at least has like your own bar in there that has like your Voodoo
Hmm.
Rangers and your Course Banquets and whatever else in there. Maybe your reverse Yag bombs.
All right.
All right, so it repeats the chorus again, and then it says, same as it ever was, like about 200 fucking times. Inside what, G Money? Inside that pussy? All right, so anyway, it says water dissolving and water removing. There is water at the bottom of the ocean. Under the water, carry the water. Remove the water from the bottom of the ocean. Water dissolving and water removing. There is water at the bottom of the ocean. No shit, it's a fucking body of water.
It's metaphor, Roger. Metaphor.
It's
So water
still,
dissolving.
you still know what I mean. There's still water. There is still that. There is
Yeah, water
still...
dissolving and water moving. It's like life going by.
Yeah.
There's water. Oh shit. Okay, so here's what it means by when it says there's water at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
This is what it says on Genius anyway. The pressure at the bottom of the Mariana Trench is roughly 1,600 pounds per square inch. Sea level is
Damn.
roughly 14.7 pounds per square inch, or PSI. The CO2 canisters in those are roughly 800 PSI. So if you can imagine a paintball the size of a large boulder being shot at your head, that's about half the pressure you'd experience at the bottom of the ocean.
Okay, I
Removing the
got
pressure
you.
at the bottom of the ocean is like removing the pressure from your life. It is also impossible, but this is poetic, so maybe you should strive for the impossible.
Yeah.
That's what it says there. And I think that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. All right. So it does the chorus again, but they changed it a bit. But I'm gonna read the whole thing. Letting the days go by, let the water hold me down. Letting the days go by, water flowing underground. Into the blue again, into the silent water. Under the rocks and stones, there is water underground.
Oh, excuse me.
Into the blue again, into the silent water. I don't like it that water's silent. It means that there's something probably hiding in there that's probably gonna
Hmm.
snatch me and eat me alive. Maybe Jaws is hiding in that silent water.
Hmm. All right. And then it goes on to, you may ask yourself, what is that beautiful house? You may ask yourself, where does that highway go to? And you may ask yourself, am I right? Am I wrong? And you may say to yourself, my God, what have I done? So it's like, you may ask yourself, what is that beautiful house?
How the hell should
Where
I
does
know?
that
It ain't
hi
my fucking house.
And yeah, you may
And
ask
then
yourself, where does that highway go to? That's like,
the highway to hell,
what would
dude.
happen if, no, the highway is like direction in life. If you choose to make certain choices, what'll happen?
Yeah. But dude, did you
And
not get
then,
that reference that I made right there?
what was it again?
The highway to hell.
Yeah, like the song Highway to Hell.
Yeah. I was waiting to see if you were gonna pick up on that. So,
All right. And then you may ask yourself, am I right? Am I wrong? Are you
oh,
making the correct choices in life? And you may say, my God, what have I done? It's like you've made great mistakes that you feel ashamed of.
oh, I don't. I don't. Am I right? Am I wrong? Well, let me put it to you this way. We are always right and we are always wrong. You know?
Yeah.
Like most times we are always right on whatever we say, and we are always wrong on things we want to say, and we always endure the consequences. Hey, but for the part, my God, what have I done with the mistake thing? I've never been apologetic for everything for anything I've done.
I'm apologetic. Well, I'm Catholic, so of course I'm apologetic for all of my sins, and I feel remorse for everything I've done wrong in my life.
Like I said, dude, once I'm on my deathbed, I'm just gonna have a whole line of fucking priests come in to hear all my confessions. That way, I'm all good. And the more confessions I make, just the more darker it gets.
Then you die right before the last priest gets to you, so you still
Yep,
don't go to heaven.
yep, because yep,
Dang, he
yep,
could have made it too if only this last priest would have got to him.
yep. And then it turns out, the last sin that I was supposed to confess turned out to be like you didn't support Aegis's music career enough. And then I could just imagine that ends up being like on my confessions list, and you just make that one song that's like the biggest mystery to me, or whatever it would be called. Did Roger really confess, or is he rotting in hell as we speak? And you have to say it in like the same tone that David Byrne did for Once in a Lifetime. All right, it looks like it pretty much repeats everything else here. Oh wait, time
Yep.
isn't holding up. Time isn't after us, which is one of the parts that's said on here. And then I couldn't get no rest. Hey, let's all twist our thumbs. Here comes the twister. Which twister? Is it from the Twister movie or the Twisters movie?
Twister. No, no, game Twister.
Let's play Twister with your sister.
That sounds dirty as shit.
I guarantee you, dude, like with Twister, it probably would get dirty as fuck immediately. Cause they would say you have to like touch this with your hand or your foot, and all of a sudden you accidentally touch each other in like the wrong areas. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we are at the halfway point of this album. I need to go get me some coffee, and Aegis here has to masturbate again, and I have to go kick G Money's ass for fucking screaming in the microphone. So, I'm fucking hearing him again. So we will be right back after this commercial, or whatever. We don't have commercials because I can make some if I needed to. So. Anyway,
we could
ladies
just
and gentlemen,
shoot little short videos to throw in as commercials and in our videos.
That would be a good idea, yeah. We have to come up with like pretty much the most retarded ass commercials in the world. So
yeah, just like buy random shit at Walmart and make commercials for those items.
Oh yeah, definitely. He said no, so he's like, no, bad idea, bad idea. All right, we'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Roger Radio Show, where we are doing a legit album review on what I believe is one of the biggest what the fuck albums I've ever heard.
We're listening to Remain in Light by the Talking Heads.
Yep, while we are being constantly interrupted by G Money, who is probably playing Battlefield or Call of Duty or whatever. You fucking prick! You know what, G-Mite? Spit on you, bitch! You're just jealous that you couldn't be a part of this.
All
Anyway,
right, so we're on the song Houses in Motion.
yeah. Alrighty, so Houses in Motion is the second and final single from Remain in Light. Recording style was Talking Heads frontman and chief lyricist David Byrne remixed the song with Remain in Light producer Brian Eno at Compass Point Studios in the Bahamas during the summer of '80. Houses in Motion features brass performances by John Hassel. The B-side Air is from the band's third studio album, Fear of Music. The cover artwork is designer Tommy Robluski. I think I said that wrong, so whatever. It doesn't have much more information about this song, so. But I will say this. For some reason, the music has a Pink Panther vibe. I don't know why, dude. It almost sounds like it has a vibe that they could have made this like the theme song of Pink Panther, in my opinion.
I could see that.
I don't know why. It does, man. I think it might be because of like the bass or whatever it was, or I can't remember what instrument I heard like pop for me.
Yeah, so it says here this song is about the realization of dread and corruption under capitalism. At the start, the singer is hopeful that he is able to achieve great things in capitalism, such as a house, especially after he seems to hit rock bottom. But in the end of the song, he is digging to the center of the earth, which is impossible for a lone human. This is also a metaphor for how for the nearly impossible task of being a billionaire under a market full of monopolies. The delusion of the singer is perpetuated by him looking through houses that constantly suggest making him believe that he is able to acquire these houses despite the monopolized market. Another interpretation is that the singer is literally a property agent and looking through houses is his job, which explains the final line of the verse where he moves in a room and digging, as in thinking that he can be extremely successful despite the fact that property is considered a monopolistic market, making it hard for anyone to succeed.
I could certainly see that. For some reason, that almost just reminded me of Pink Floyd's song Dogs.
Yeah.
Like how you pronounced it, like, yeah, the whole entire concept for this song here, per se, it almost literally sounded like it almost feels like they took inspiration from animals, but I could be wrong. But it almost just feels relatable to animals, literally.
And so it goes, for a long time I felt without style and grace, wearing shoes with no socks in cold weather. I knew my heart was in the right place. I knew I'd be able to do these things.
Ugh. I felt without style or grace. Just the misfortune of like just being in the lowest of lows, like in society or whatever.
Yeah.
We're just struggling to make ends meet at this point, like you're wearing shoes and you couldn't afford socks.
And then I knew my heart was in the right place. That's obvious. I knew my heart is in the right place, but you're going the right direction, you know?
Yeah.
I knew I'd be able to do these things. Since you're a good person and you're working hard, you should be able to live the American dream.
Right.
As we watch him digging his own grave, it's important to know that was where he's at. Can't afford to stop. That is what he believed. He'll keep on digging for 1,000 years.
As we watch him dig in his own grave, it's important to know that was where he's at. That almost sounded like he was feeling suicidal.
To me, it's like digging in this case is, I think, symbolic of like working. You're working until you die. You're digging your own grave.
Yeah.
That's where he's at. Can't afford to stop because if he stops digging, he doesn't have money to survive. And then he'll keep on digging for 1,000 years. He'll keep on digging, working for the rest of his life.
Unless if you have a 401k account like I do.
Especially
I'm just saying, like, unless if you're willing to like
if,
chip in a little bit of money to put aside for your 401k, then you should be fine because that's what I
especially
did.
if, especially if the Trump administration does end up getting rid of our Social Security, as they are trying to do.
Well, I don't even have my social security anymore, so I was getting paid too much bank from work, so. And of course, on the
Right.
other hand, I'm a pretty frivolous spender. I mean, hey, do you not see all the shit I have in my living room? Heck, even one of my U2s that I just ordered about last summer, it's finally arrived. And that was like maybe 30 bucks right there.
All right. And then it goes on. I'm walking a line. I'm thinking about empty motion. I'm walking a line just barely enough to be living. Get out of the way. No time to begin. This isn't the time, so nothing was done. Not talking about, not many at all. No turning around. No trouble at all. You notice there's nothing around you. Around you. I'm walking a line. Divide and dissolve.
Um,
So I'm walking a line. You're moving forward in life. I'm thinking about empty motion. So in your movements, there's like no meaning in your life. You're just working to get through it, you know?
yeah, absolutely,
I'm
without a doubt.
walking a line. I'm walking a line just barely enough to be living. You're just making enough to survive. You're making enough to feed yourself, to keep a roof over your head.
Yeah, this is where I'm at most of the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I'm barely making it, or at least most times when it comes to all my bills needing to be paid, I am that close to or being congested to where I barely have anything left.
All right. Then it goes, get out of the way. No time to begin. This isn't the time, so nothing was done. What the hell does that? All right. Then never get to say much. Never get to talk. Tell us a little bit, but not too much. Right about then is where she give up. She has closed her eyes. She has give up hope.
Yeah.
So, fuck. Never get to say much, never get to talk. Not too much. Right about then is where she give up. She has closed her eyes. She has. So it says here, when people are walking on a line and resistant to criticism or feedback from others, it almost becomes a matter of walking on eggshells. One doesn't get to say much without conflict, and the opportunities for meaningless discussion becomes less and less.
You know what I think?
Sometimes we may seek compromise and ask for just a little bit of the person's perspective or reasoning, but say they need not say too much. But sometimes this rule may lead to obscuration of truth, and the problem will seem unsolvable.
You know what I think of everyone's criticisms? Right here. Right here.
Right?
Um,
Then it had does the chorus again.
yep. And then it says, I'm walking a
And
line. I hate to be dreaming in motion. I'm walking a line just barely enough to be living. Blah, 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 blah. Not to get out of the way. No time to begin. This isn't the time, so nothing was done. Not talking about not many at all. I'm turning around. No trouble at all. I'm keeping my fingers behind me. I'm walking a line, divide and dissolve.
So when it says like I'm walking a line, divide and dissolve, you're going on you're going forward, you're walking, moving forward, and divide and dissolve, like move out of the fucking way and disappear.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah. Um. Oh, here we
Yeah,
go.
that's
Oh, I was gonna say there's the last chorus again, but it does say it a little bit differently again. Here we go. I'm walking a line. I'm visiting houses in motion. I'm walking a line just barely enough to be living. Get out of the way. No time to begin. This isn't the time, so nothing was done.
so nothing was done.
Not talking about, not many at all. I'm turning around, no trouble at all. Two different houses surround you, round you. I'm walking a line, divide and dissolve. I'm fucking tired, dude. And I'm already having, and I've drank like how much coffee this morning? Fuck my life, dude.
All right. So then we go on to seen and not seen.
And again, it's something that I could barely fucking understand. Like I said, the whole time I've been listening to this album, I could see her underwear, by the way. Put that shit away, dog. The whole time I was listening to this album, ladies and gentlemen, I was like, there's no way in hell this is a Talking Heads album. This is more like a Brian Eno album, and Talking Heads were just along for the ride.
Yeah, I can see that.
Just
I don't
like
know.
how
This does have a
just like
very
how
similar
many
sound
people
to.
said the final cut by Pink Floyd was really Roger Waters' album, but Pink Floyd were just there for a ride. Just like how many people said Imaginos by Blue Oyster Cult was more of a Sandy Pearlman album, and Blue Oyster Cult were just there for the ride. It's this fucking bullshit. This is why music is fucked.
No, I'd say this sounds like a David Byrne and Brian Eno collaboration. Because if you listen to their other collaboration, My Life in the Bush of Ghosts, they have very similar sounds to them and similar themes.
They might as well have just released it as Brian Eno and David Byrne instead.
Well, they also have the other band members of the band playing instruments on it, so they got to give credit to them, you know?
Yeah. And just
All right,
remember,
so
like earlier, I even said that Weymouth and France were considering like wanting to leave at one point too.
yeah.
So imagine that if they would have left before Remain and Light got recorded, it would have changed everything.
All right, so we're on a seen and not seen. He would see
Why
faces in
is it that
movies
every
on.
time you say not seen, you keep saying Nazi?
I'm s Fuck off. He would see faces in movies, on TV, in magazines, and in books. He thought that some of these faces might be right for him, and that through the years, by keeping an ideal facial structure mixed in his mind, or somewhere in the back of his mind, that he might, by force of will, cause his face to approach those of his ideal. The change would be very subtle. It might take 10 years or so. Gradually, his face would change its shape: a more hooked nose, wider, thinner lips, beady eyes, a larger forehead. So what it's saying is like this dude is like looking at all these people and like images, movies, books, all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
And they kind of have this like connotation to it. And he ideals like his ideal image in his head of how he wants to develop how he looks.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, that does make a lot of sense to me without a doubt. I don't know what it is about like the first like the last part here, a more hooked nose, wider thinner lips, beady eyes, a larger forehead. Some reason it almost feels like he's making a reference to like people who would either change as they age or they ended up getting facial reconstruction surgery or plastic surgery. Because this is fucking Hollywood,
Mm.
people.
All right, and then it goes on. He imagined that this was an ability he shared with most other people. They also had molded their faces according to some ideal. Maybe they imagined that their new face would better suit their personality, or maybe they imagined that their personality would be forced to change to fit the new appearance.
Yeah.
This is why first impressions are often correct. Although some people might have made mistakes, they may have arrived at an appearance that bears no relationship to them. They may have picked an ideal appearance based on some childish whim or momentary impulse. Some may have gotten halfway there and then changed their minds. He wonders if he too might have made a similar mistake. And that's it.
A lot for me to
It's kind
take
of
in, man.
self-explanatory, that one. Huh?
What's that?
No, what did you say?
I was like, this is a lot to take in right here, man.
Yeah, that song's kind of self-explanatory, but still pretty good.
Yeah. Like I said, I think this was like one of the other songs where I could even barely fucking hear his voice.
Hmm.
Or where I could barely hear him because he was like some of these songs, like David Byrne was so fucking quiet, dude. All right, so the next one is Listening Wind, and this is where most of the music, like the rest of the music, I was almost about to fucking pass out, literally. I think aside from the last track, this other song almost may have felt like my brain was melting, literally, because of
Hmm.
the overall sound, or I might have been getting dementia in my head.
All right. Mojik sees his village from a nearby hill. Mojik thinks of days before Americans came. He serves the foreigners in growing numbers. He sees the foreigners in fancy houses. He dreams of days he can still remember now. Honestly, this makes me think of like Native American tribes when the white man arrived.
Yep, when us crackers had to come and destroy everything.
Yup.
Yupper.
Mojik holds a package in his quivering hands. Mojik sends the package to the American man. Softly he glides along the streets and alleys. Up comes the wind that makes them run for cover. He feels the time is surely now or never more.
Up
So
comes the
Mojik
wind
holds
that
a
makes them
package in her
run for
quivering.
cover. This is almost like, when us crackers invaded and attacked their villages and everything.
Yeah, so what it's saying here is I think that this makes most sense. Mojik holds a package in his quivering hands, and that package is a bomb. Mojik sends the package to the American man to blow him up.
Just like Ted.
And then, yeah, the time is surely now or never. The wind in my heart, the wind in my heart, the dust in my head, the dust in my head, the wind in my heart, the wind in my
I
heart
get
comes
it.
to drive them away, drive them away. So it says here, Mojik seizes in herself or his heart as a cleansing wind. The invading Americans are dust that clouds and dirties both his land and his mind. By acting on this feeling and at this crux, Mojik sees himself as becoming this idealized cleansing wind, driving the dust away.
Uh-huh.
And then it repeats. Mojik buys his equipment in the marketplace. Mojik plants devices through the free trade zone. He feels the wind is lifting up his people. He calls the wind to guide him on his mission. He knows his friend the wind is always standing by. So he's buying equipment, making bombs,
They just
and
fucking
planting the
predicted the
bombs.
Unabomber in this bitch. They fucking predicted Ted Kaczynski, yo. Maybe they also predicted the Boston Marathon bombers too.
Mojik smells the winds that comes from far away. Mojik waits for news in a quiet place. He feels the presence of the wind beside him. He feels the power of the past behind him. He has the knowledge of the wind to guide him on. So it says Mojik smells the wind that comes from far away. That's like what's the way to describe it?
When the
The
explosion
impact
happened
zone of
and
the
all the
bomb.
smoke
Yes,
was there.
yes, yes, exactly.
And he waits
Exactly.
for the news at a quiet place. He's waiting for them to make the breaking news. Hey, a bomb just went
Yep.
off and blew up the fucking Oklahoma City Federal Building.
Yeah.
He
And
feels the
then,
power. He feels the presence of the wind behind him.
yeah, it just repeats for the rest of the song.
Yeah, but hang on. He feels the power of the past behind him. He knows that what he did's gonna catch up with him in like a matter of hours, and that it almost feels like they made a reference to the Unabomber again because the power of the past. Ted Kaczynski was actually took part in the MK Ultra experiments while he was at Harvard.
Really?
Yeah, he literally did. He actually endured a bunch of MK Ultra experimentation.
Like with LSD?
Yeah.
Hmm. All right.
All right, so the next one here, I swear to God, the last song, The Overlord here, I swear to
Overload.
God, it sounded way too scary. It almost sounded like I was watching a horror movie waiting for the jump scare to fucking happen, but it never came. I, for some reason, felt like a jump scare should have fucking happened in the song, and it didn't. And I just kept removing my headphones, be like, where's the jump scare coming? When is it coming?
So what all the girls you ever meet say, when's it coming?
Are you coming?
Maybe another day.
No, I'm too drunk to come. Just like on that Seth Rogen movie, I can't remember. I think it was called Neighbors. Yeah,
Yep.
he's just there drunk with his wife. He's like, I'm too drunk to come. Stop. I'm too drunk.
All right, let's see. A terrible signal, too weak to even recognize. A gentle collapsing, the removal of the insides. I am touched by your pleas.
Hold on,
I
man.
value these moments.
Hold on. That first paragraph just almost I think, just made a reference to the East Wing of the White House.
With fucking Trump demolishing it to build his ballroom.
Continue on.
Any, anyway, I'm touched by your pleas. I value these moments. We're older than we realize in someone's eyes.
I isn't it like in like when you're in the court of law and you see the defendants be convicted of whatever and they're pleading for mercy and the judge is like, while I'm touched by your plea, I'm not gonna fucking give you a lighter sentence. Fuck you.
So, a terrible signal too weak to even recognize, I think is referring to well, from what I'm reading, it seems to be referring to like the insignificance of the human race. A
Yeah.
gentle collapsing, that is, once it's done expanding, the universe collapses on itself. The removal of the insides. I'm touched by your pleas, which is probably like meaning and religion in the world, which is what I believe in. I value these moments. So what I am experiencing, I am valuing. We are older than we realize in someone's eyes. So there are two ways I could interpret that. In someone's eyes could be like from the eyes of God who's been there for all eternity.
Uh-huh.
Or it could be in someone's eyes as in like someone younger than you. You just look old compared to like a little kid, you know? You know what I mean?
I don't look that old, but I get your point.
Yeah, I think in someone's eyes is referring to in God's eyes though.
Yeah.
A frequent returning and leaving unnoticed, a condition of mercy, a change in the weather, a view to remember, the center is missing. They question how the future lies in someone's eyes. A frequent returning, I don't know what, a frequent returning and leaving unnoticed. Leaving unnoticed, I think, is referring to death. A condition of mercy, a change in the weather. A view to remember. I was talking about like the little things in life, you know,
Yeah.
taking in the little things. The center is missing. They question how the future lies in someone's eyes.
Yes, sir. I get you, man.
And then the in someone's eyes seems to be referring to God's eyes once again.
Yeah.
The gentle collapsing of every surface, we travel on the quiet road, the overload.
The gentle collapsing of every surface. It's almost like fuck. I honestly don't know what that last part means.
The gentle collapsing of every surface sounds like the end of the world to me.
Yeah.
We travel on the quiet road, the overload. And that's it.
Alrighty, that was the entire album. I'm gonna say it's a 6 out of 10 because I am not impressed with the whole album. I only like one song.
I would give it an 8.2 out of 10.
Fuck you, dude. Like I said, dude, it doesn't feel like it's a Talking Heads album. It just feels, like you said, more of a David Byrne and Brian Eno collaboration right here.
Yeah.
And I mean, even then, like, it just feels like a lot of these songs just aren't good enough to get any airplay on the radio unless if it's Once in a Lifetime, which is my most favorite song from this album. I really liked how it sounded.
Yeah, it was a good song. I know, I still really like The Great Curve. The Great Curve, Cross-Eyed and Painless, and then I'd say would be Once in a Lifetime.
Yeah. No, Once in a Lifetime and then Cross-Eyed and Painless. Cross-Eyed and Painless just seemed like the only other song that I could really listen to on this on this album. But even then, Cross-Eyed and Painless, I probably wouldn't listen to it a whole lot. So, okay. So, is that it?
Yep.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for this album review. Thank you all so much for tuning in and watching. If you want to see more content from us in the near future, subscribe to the Roger Radio Show. Oh, hit the bell to be notified when I'll be uploading. Hit the like button and comment what you think we should cover next. And while you're at it, if you want to see more content from us, subscribe to El Gallo Productions and the Interrobang Group as well. The links to those channels will be in the description below. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and as always, until next time, ta-ta for now!
Peace.